The hotel ballroom glittered with crystal chandeliers and champagne flutes. Dad's retirement party was exactly the kind of event he deserved. 100 guests, live jazz trio, premium open bar, and enough corporate executives to fill a Forbes conference. After 38 years as a petroleum engineer, Garrett was finally stepping away from the oil fields. I'd arrived quietly, slipping in through the side entrance to avoid the receiving line. My black jeans, vintage blazer, and canvas sneakers weren't exactly cocktail attire, but I'd come straight from a site inspection at our new headquarters in Austin. I hadn't had time to change. Marcus spotted me immediately. "Sophie." His voice carried across the room, drawing heads. My older brother looked pristine in his tailored Tom Ford suit, his wife Vanessa dripping in jewelry beside him. "You actually showed up. We had bets going." I hugged Dad, who looked distinguished in his navy suit. "Congratulations, Dad. You earned this." "Thanks, sweetheart." He glanced at my outfit and I saw the familiar flicker of disappointment. "Glad you could make it." Mom appeared, resplendent in emerald silk. Her smile was warm, but her eyes did a quick inventory of my appearance. "Sophie, darling. How casual." "I came from work," I said simply. "Of course you did." Marcus accepted a champagne flute from a passing waiter. "Still doing that freelance thing? What is it this week?" "Graphic design." "Social media consulting." "Business consulting," I corrected quietly. Right. He turned to the group forming around us. Aunts, uncles, Dad's colleagues. "My little sister, the consultant. Works from coffee shops, makes her own hours, very modern." Vanessa tittered. "I keep telling her she should apply to Marcus's firm. Apex Consulting is always looking for entry-level analysts." "That's actually not a bad idea," Mom chimed in. "Marcus could put in a word. Get you something stable." I sipped my water and said nothing. The party continued around us. Dad's boss gave a speech about his contributions to 3 major pipeline projects. Colleagues shared stories about his dedication, his expertise, his leadership. Everyone raised glasses to his success, his legacy, his well-earned retirement. Then Marcus decided to give his own toast. He clinked his glass and the room quieted. "I want to say something about my dad. Growing up, he taught me the value of hard work. Real work. The kind that requires showing up every day, putting in the hours, building something that matters." His eyes slid to me. "He taught me that success isn't about chasing trends or working from your laptop at Starbucks. It's about commitment, professionalism, making real money doing real work." Uncomfortable laughter rippled through the crowd. I felt eyes turning toward me. "Dad showed us what a real career looks like," Marcus continued, warming to his theme. "He wore a suit. He worked for a respected company. He provided for his family. He gestured at his own expensive outfit. That's what I've tried to emulate at Apex. We work hard. We dress professionally. We take our careers seriously." Mom was nodding. Vanessa beamed. Dad looked uncomfortable but didn't interrupt. Marcus raised his glass higher. "So here's to Dad, a man who understood what it means to be a professional. Unlike some people," his gaze locked on me, "who think showing up to their own father's retirement party in jeans and sneakers is acceptable." The jazz trio had stopped playing. Every eye in the room was on me. "Maybe if you had a real career, Sophie, you could afford to dress better," Marcus announced, his voice projecting to every corner of the ballroom. "You could buy a nice dress. Get your hair done properly. Look like you actually belong at an event like this." The whole family nodded in agreement. Aunt Patricia whispered something to Uncle James. Dad's former boss looked embarrassed. Mom's face was red, but she didn't defend me. I pulled out my phone. Marcus smirked. "What are you going to do, Sophie? Post about this on Instagram? Tweet about how mean your brother is?" I opened my secure access portal and navigated to the employee database. Found Marcus Garrett's file. His position: Senior Associate Strategy Division. His boss: Jennifer Chin, VP of Operations. His salary: $145,000 annually. Jennifer's boss, the CEO: me. I tapped the termination protocol, selected position eliminated, restructuring, and approved the severance package with my thumbprint. The system processed it instantly. "Marcus," I said quietly, my voice cutting through the silence. Your position at Apex Consulting was just eliminated. He laughed. What are you talking about? Check your email. Sophie, this isn't funny. Your email. Something in my tone made him pull out his phone. I watched his face as he opened his work account. Watched the color drain. Watched his hands start shaking. This is a mistake. Someone hacked. No hack. Your employment with Apex Consulting is terminated effective immediately. Your company laptop, phone, and access cards will be deactivated in, I checked my watch, 3 minutes. Security will meet you at the office Monday morning to collect them and escort you out. Vanessa grabbed his phone. This can't be real. Marcus, call Jennifer. Call your boss. Tell her there's been a mistake. Jennifer Chin reports directly to me, I said calmly. She works for me. Everyone at Apex works for me. Mom's champagne flute slipped from her fingers, shattering on the marble floor. You're lying, Marcus whispered. You're just some freelance. I held up my phone, turned it so the room could see. On the screen, the Apex Consulting Executive Dashboard with my name at the top. Sophia Garrett, Chief Executive Officer and Founder. I founded Apex Consulting 7 years ago, I said, my voice steady. Started it from my laptop in coffee shops, just like you said. Built it into a firm with 218 employees across 6 offices. Last year's revenue was $92 million. Dad sat down heavily. Marcus, you've worked there for 3 years. I hired you personally despite your mediocre credentials because Mom asked me to. You had a marketing degree and no consulting experience, but I gave you a chance. Sophie, Mom started. I gave you training. Mentorship. I paired you with our best team leads. I gave you high-profile projects to build your resume. Marcus was staring at me like I was a stranger. And you've been adequate. Not exceptional, but adequate. Your performance reviews are solid B- work. Your clients tolerate you. Your colleagues find you manageable. Vanessa made a small sound. But here's what I can't tolerate. I pocketed my phone. You used your position at my company, the company I built, to mock me publicly. To diminish me in front of our father, our family, his colleagues. You weaponized your association with Apex to make yourself look successful while making me look like a failure. I didn't know. You didn't want to know. Every time Mom mentioned my work, you changed the subject. Every time I tried to talk about my business, you interrupted with stories about your firm. You never once asked what I actually do. Because you were always so secretive. Marcus's voice cracked. You never told us you owned the company. You never asked. You assumed I was entry-level at best. You offered to get me a job at my own firm. Aunt Patricia gasped. I turned to address the room. I apologize for the disruption. This is Dad's night and he deserves celebration, not drama. I looked at my father, who was staring at me with an expression I couldn't quite read. Dad, I'm incredibly proud of you. Your career, your achievements, everything you built. You taught me that real work means showing up, staying committed, and building something that lasts. That's exactly what I did. Sophie, he said quietly. Why didn't you tell me? Because I wanted to do it on my own. Without your connections, without your name opening doors, without anyone saying I succeeded because I was Daniel Garrett's daughter. I smiled sadly. I wanted to be successful because of my work. My skills. My vision. But we could have helped. Supported you. You did support me. You taught me discipline. Work ethic. Integrity. I glanced at Marcus. Well, 2 out of 3. Dad almost smiled. Mom found her voice. You let us think you were struggling. Living in that tiny apartment, driving that old car. I live in a modest apartment because I don't need space I won't use. I drive a paid-off car because I prefer investing in the business rather than depreciating assets. I pulled up another screen on my phone. The company's worth approximately $270 million. I own 83% of it. My personal net worth is around $220 million. Someone dropped a plate in the kitchen. The crash echoed through the silent ballroom. But you dress like... Vanessa gestured helplessly at my outfit. Like someone who spent the day touring a construction site. Because I did. We're building a new headquarters in Austin. 60,000 square feet. I needed to check the progress before flying here. I looked down at my sneakers. These are comfortable. The blazer is vintage Armani. And I don't particularly care what you think of my jeans. Marcus sank into a chair. I can't believe this. This whole time you were working at my company, earning a salary I approved, using credentials I helped you build, all while thinking I was beneath you. What happens now? He asked quietly. I considered him. My brother who'd bullied me through high school, who'd made fun of my college major, who'd called my business dreams cute when I first started. My brother who'd nonetheless shown up when I had my appendix out. Who'd helped me move 3 times. Who'd taught me to drive stick shift in his old truck. Your severance package is generous. 6 months salary, continued health insurance, and a neutral reference letter. That gives you time to find something new. You're really firing me. I'm really firing you. You can't work for me after this, Marcus. The team would never respect you and you'd never respect them. But I'm not destroying you. Jennifer Chin appeared at my elbow. She must have been in the crowd. Miss Garrett, I apologize. I had no idea Mr. Garrett was your brother. If I had known. It's not your fault, Jennifer. You've done excellent work managing the strategy division. I smiled at her. Actually, with Marcus's departure, we'll need a new senior associate. Can you have recommendations on my desk by Wednesday? Of course. She nodded and retreated. Dad stood up slowly. Sophie, can we talk? Privately. We stepped out onto the terrace overlooking the city lights. The night air was cool, carrying the scent of jasmine from the hotel gardens. I'm sorry, he said finally. Your mother and I, we didn't see you. We didn't ask the right questions. You were busy with your own career. I understand. That's not an excuse. He turned to face me. You built something extraordinary. And instead of celebrating it, we dismissed it. I dismissed it. You didn't know. I should have known. I should have paid attention. He smiled sadly. $220 million. That's incredible, Sophie. The money isn't the point. The business is. The team I've built, the clients we serve, the problems we solve. I leaned against the railing. I'm good at what I do, Dad. Really good. And I did it wearing jeans and sneakers. He laughed, a real laugh this time. Apparently so. Then his expression sobered. What you did to Marcus, that was harsh. It was necessary. I know. I'm not questioning it. I'm just. He sighed. He's my son too. I hate seeing him hurt. He'll land on his feet. His resume has Apex on it. That carries weight. He's skilled enough to find something comparable. Will you ever forgive him? I thought about that. Eventually. But right now he needs to understand consequences. He needs to learn that actions matter, that how you treat people matters, and that assumptions can cost you everything. Dad nodded slowly. You learned that from me. I learned a lot from you. More than you realize. We stood in silence for a moment, watching the city lights. Can I ask you something? Dad said finally. Why consulting? With your business acumen, you could have done anything. Because I love solving problems. I love walking into a struggling company and figuring out how to turn it around. I love seeing businesses grow, watching teams succeed, helping people build something sustainable. I smiled. Kind of like what you did with pipelines. You built infrastructure that powered entire regions. I built strategies that power companies. I never thought of it that way. You're the reason I do what I do, Dad. You just didn't know it. He pulled me into a hug. I'm proud of you. I should have said that years ago. You're saying it now. When we returned to the ballroom, the party had resumed, quieter, more subdued but functioning. Marcus and Vanessa were gone. Mom was talking urgently with Aunt Patricia. The jazz trio played soft standards. Mom approached me, her eyes red. Sophie, I need to apologize. Mom. No, let me say this. I failed you. As a mother, I should have supported your dreams, asked about your work, celebrated your achievements. Instead, I compared you to Marcus, made you feel small, and assumed the worst. She took my hands. I'm so sorry. I forgive you. But going forward, I need you to see me. Really see me. I will. I promise. Jennifer Chin appeared again. Ms. Garrett, I hate to interrupt, but the Austin contractor called. They need your approval on the electrical specifications. Can it wait until Monday? They're trying to stay on schedule for the June opening. I sighed. Give me 10 minutes. As Jennifer walked away, Dad chuckled. Running a company never stops, does it? Not really. I smiled. But I wouldn't have it any other way. The rest of the evening passed in a blur of conversations. Dad's colleagues wanted to talk about Apex, about consulting, about my unexpected success. Aunt Patricia kept apologizing. Uncle James asked for business advice. I left around 10 hugging Dad one more time. Thank you for coming, he said. Even after everything. It's your night. You deserve to have family here. You're the best of us, you know that? I smiled. I'm just the one who learned your lessons and applied them differently. In the parking garage I found my 10-year-old Subaru, practical, reliable, paid off. I drove home to my modest 2-bedroom apartment, where my laptop waited with emails about the Austin project, the new client proposal and the quarterly board meeting. My phone buzzed. A text from Marcus. I'm sorry. You deserved better from me. I stared at it for a long moment, then typed back. You'll figure it out. You always do. Another text, this time from Dad. Breakfast next Saturday? Just us. I want to hear about your business. Really hear about it. I smiled. I'd like that. As I opened my laptop and reviewed the electrical specifications for our new headquarters, I thought about success and family, and the moment when your brother realizes you fired him from your own company. Dad's retirement party had been supposed to celebrate his career. Instead, it became the night everyone learned what mine actually was. And honestly, that was better than any toast Marcus could have given.